Who knows if these Birminghams will go charging on afterwards. So I believe that you all think that the lion in the middle is Tenyo. Awesome. I trust you on this one. If he rolls over and he shows his mangy belly, then we will, of course, can confirm it. Well, that's how I normally identify him, because him and Mfumo have the most swollen faces, and to me they look quite similar, especially after such a long stint away. And Angela, well done for being the first one. In fact, to get all 3 of the IDs correct, that's fantastic news. It really is. Come on, boys. Give us a big old roar. I mean, that's what we're going to be after this evening. Like I said to you, it's been a long time since I've had lions roaring right next to my car. And I don't know if Maurice the elephant has actually had a decent lion roaring sighting. He's actually changed his outfit, David. Look at this. He's become a ninja elephant now. Amazing. He got dressed and ready and hoped that the lions would roar for him. So he's like a karate kid. You see, he's got his scarf. It's too hot to wear a scarf, so he's tied it around his head. Do you think he can do moves? Behave. We're in a lion sighting. Can't be doing karate in front of male lions. Now, I was supposed to think about this, but I got distracted. And Magic Dragon Lizard, love the name, by the way. That's great. Very creative. You've asked, what is my most entertaining, funniest thing I've ever seen a lion do? Oh, I'm sorry, Nikki. I know you told me to think about it earlier, and then I forgot. What is the funniest thing I've seen a lion do? Oh, I don't even know where to begin. My favorite part is when they climb up into trees, the youngsters, and then fall out of them. That's always quite entertaining. Oh, watching a young lion try and climb a tree and go all the way up and go, oh, this is easy. Watching them come down is hysterical. All the lions, and we've got a bit more experience, obviously. I'm better at doing it, but the youngsters are really not well equipped at climbing just yet until they've learned where they need to put their feet. Back in the Eastern Cape, down on the southeast coast of South Africa, I've also told this story before, but I'll never forget it. There was a pride of lions and the most beautiful male lion. Remember, I showed you those pictures of Mondoro and the beautiful black maned Kalahari lion. And there was a huge puddle on the road. Basically, along the fence line, they were walking, and there were thick shrubs on the other side of the road. And this puddle had completely covered the road, and it was quite deep, probably more than ankle deep. Anyways, the pride of lions and the cubs all walked through it. Some of them leapt over it. And this big male lion got to the water's edge, stopped, put his paw in, and sort of took it out and shook it, kind of like what a cat does. And then turned around, and he must have done a big 300-400 meter loop to get around it. He was not putting his feet in the water. So looking at a big, strong male lion and seeing him being put off by a puddle of water was particularly funny too. And the other thing that was quite funny was a lion defecating next to one of the vehicles, and then that vehicle trying to leave the sighting, and driving through the dung and then getting slightly stuck and tires spinning and the dung going onto the side of another car and their guests. Indirectly, but quite hilarious. Anyway, the other vehicle was not impressed. So I've seen a couple of funny things. I'm pretty sure I could think of some more if I actually just put my head down and thought about it. But yes, the cats are entertaining. It's very quiet out tonight. Goodness. Tinyo, you might be the first one to get up with all those yawns. He's starting to groom himself. Now, obviously these lions have got big, beautiful manes. And something that I do a lot is my hair sheds all the time. I'm often referred to as either a German Shepherd or a Labrador, the rate at which I lose hair. And First Lady has asked, do the male lions lose their manes as they get older? I haven't really noticed that. I haven't noticed any hair loss, any bald spots forming on the male lions. So I don't think that really does happen. But maybe I'm wrong. Again, we can ask Brent and Tristan, but I don't Tristan's not driving anymore. Tristan's gone back to camp because it's dark now, and we don't want him walking around. But I don't think that happens. Well, not to an extent where I've ever noticed, and I've seen some very old male lions before. He's very interested in whatever is in the north. Could be a pride of lioness. Maybe it's in Nguma pride that are coming back. Maybe they're contact calling for one another. because from my understanding, it seems as though that the Nkuhuma Pride are quite split up at the moment. I don't think they've all been seen together. And that's probably because the evokers were around and caused a bit of a stir. And scattered. Oh, 7 minutes and 15 seconds for these lions to roar for us. Come on, boys. Just one. We just need one to start, and then the rest should start chiming in. And at the moment, the most promising one looks like it's going to be Tenyo. Now, if they do roar, I can tell you right now, I'll get goosebumps because the whole vehicle starts vibrating. The sound is just amazing, and it does send a couple of chills down your spine. It's a pretty cool thing, especially in such close proximity. Now, I've completely forgot who's just asked this question. Sorry, Nikki. Topical, hey? Ever. Do the lions ever scare anybody when they roar? Yeah, so, I wonder. I don't know. Anybody in camp in FC, anybody in Final Control get nervous when the lions roar? I bet when they roar, when they're right outside camp, like I said, and the windows start to vibrate, that's an intimidating sound. I think the first time you ever hear a lion roar, it's probably a bit on the intimidating side. But again, the adrenaline is rushing through you. It's sort of, you feel confused. You don't quite know what your body is feeling. It's a hard thing to describe. You have to just experience it for yourself. So I think initially, especially anybody that comes from the city and has never been out into the African wilderness before, then yes, definitely. And I reckon the impala must panic every now and then too, or the buffalo, when they hear those sounds going, oh no, that means they're probably going to be up and on the move. I'd be a bit nervous if I was a prey species out here at night and in the dark. Sounds like the fiery-necked nightjars have also just started calling too. Right, we're going to sit on tight and hold our breaths. Well, maybe we shouldn't hold our breaths for that long. And hope that, of course, these lions are going to roar. Let's go and see what Brent is going to pull out of his hat next.
I'm just having a drink of water, nothing out of my hat just yet. But I'm checking some of my favorite bush baby hangouts. I haven't seen a bush baby since I've been back out. I've seen them at Inga's house, but not out and about. And there's almost always a good chance just around the old bush price sites. Now, I know a lot of you are probably wondering about the fate of that poor elephant who's got some of his intestines hanging out. So it's been reported to the Parks Board in Mpumalanga Parks. They will be coming through in the morning to assess that animal, and it will be up to them what decision is made. I'm not going to lie to you because I'm not that type of person. I think most likely, the most likely decision that will be happening with that animal is it will be euthanized. Now, just because of the high density of people in this area, and safari lodges and bushwalk and tracking and all that type of stuff, it poses a very, very serious threat to anyone while on safari, or specifically when you're on foot. Now, the thing is, he's fine now. It's a fresh wound. He's sore, but you could see he was completely relaxed around the vehicle, and so the problem will come in about a week or so, maybe even shorter, with this very hot weather, where that wound gets infected, and it's almost certainly going to get infected because the intestine is punctured, and you could see blood, and his dung was really runny, so you could see that already. So the infection would set in, and the fever. Firstly, that would cause the animal a huge amount of pain. Secondly, it now makes that animal extremely dangerous. Now, if this had been in an area in the far northern Kruger somewhere where the tourists don't go, and a section warder had found it, he probably would have left it. But because it is in an area where we operate constantly all the time, it does make sense. And as I said, I don't want to lie to you. That elephant is not going to be fine, and it is very, very sad, and I feel very sorry, and it's never easy to see that type of stuff. But if we think about it logically, it's probably safer for everyone, and a lot more comfortable for the elephant if he's, what was that? If he is euthanized, because dying from septicemia, whoopsie, it's a little steenbokkie. I thought it looked like a little kitty cat. I don't want to put the lights on the little steenbokkie. If he dies from septicemia or even pulled apart by hyenas in a it'll probably be 2 weeks or so. It's going to be a far worse death for him. So I think probably as I say, I can't be sure. It's not my decision to make, but I think logically that is the decision that is going to be made when the parks get here tomorrow. And I think that's best for all parties involved, the elephant and all of us who live and work out here on a daily basis. So I know it is very sad, and I hope you guys just understand that you must also understand that the people working for the park sometimes have to make some incredibly difficult decisions, and just be glad that you don't have to make those decisions with such incredible animals like elephants and wild dogs and cheetah and lion and leopard. So it is very sad, but it is one of those things, and it is something that happens out here in the wild from time to time. But I'm hoping we can end the safari on a happy note with a big Birmingham roar.
Oh, no. They've all gone flat again. Or no, actually, have they? Or has Tinyo just decided that he's grooming himself in the most bizarre fashion? Time is not on our side this evening. Well, if they don't roar now, they are close enough to the dam that you should be able to hear it. So have a little listen throughout the night, and of course it's always nice to hear that. Perhaps you can just leave it playing in the background. Turn the volume up nice and loud, and hear what you can hear, or see what you can hear, which should be quite cool. You may even hear some thunder, because there is a big lightning storm coming from the east. But it has been fantastic, a very hot afternoon filled with gremlins. Sorry about that, but we'll try again tomorrow. At least we got the Birmingham boys, and hopefully they'll be around in the morning. We'll see you on the Sunrise Safari.